The woman chose to end her marriage in pursuit of a more comfortable life, but her husband's sister unexpectedly told the police every embarrassing detail about her past. Sometime earlier, she ended their baby's life without discussion, and never talked to my brother who was her husband. Then right after that she demanded a divorce, and said my brother misunderstood her and her boss. I don't know the whole story, but something here doesn't add up. Hearing her secrets exposed, Xia Mailan still refused to admit that she had anything to do with Shenlei's disappearance. After a huge fight between the couple, Shenlei stopped going to work. Late at night, he sat alone at a street stall drinking away his worries. Seeing Mailan calling, he sneered, because he knew deep down, she only wanted him to sign the divorce papers again. Then he saw someone playing basketball nearby, and his mind drifted back to where they first met. It was basketball that brought them together, and led to their relationship. Those simple sweet days had long since faded away. Mailan wanted a glamorous life. She refused to raise a baby in a small rental, so she ended the pregnancy on her own. Her mind was fixed only on big houses and fancy cars. Their vows of love had already been forgotten. Love eventually lost to reality. No matter how many messages she sent, Shenlei refused to answer. But Mailan knew his personality too well. She didn't think he could ever amount to much. Eventually Shenlei left behind his scooter keys and vanished. When his workplace couldn't reach him, they called Mailan instead. Only then did she learn he'd missed 3 full days of work. She claimed she hadn't contacted him since asking for divorce, so she didn't know where he'd gone. Considering the situation, the supervisor decided to go easy on him. Back at the rental, Mailan saw their torn wedding photos, and laughed coldly. Shenlei was still as childish as ever. She relayed the supervisor's decision to Shenlei, but he was already on a train heading far away. He didn't want to hear from her, so he simply powered off his phone. Mailan searched through the malls and markets he frequented, but found no sign of him. Even late at night she found nothing. Only then did she realize he truly intended to do something unexpected. Eventually Shenlei's sister and Mailan reported him missing, leading to the scene from the beginning. Seeing Mailan's shamelessness, Shenlin finally lost control. The officers calmed them both down, and promised a full investigation, telling them to go home and wait. On the way back, Shenlin kept messaging her brother, unaware he was already far away. He had gone to Qixingtai where they once traveled after graduation. They had left a love lock there together. Such a lovely memory, now only painful for him. So early the next morning, he climbed the mountain with pliers, wanting to cut the lock and end this chapter for good. But what he saw stunned him. The racks once full of locks had been removed years ago. No one came here anymore. Shenlei laughed then, maybe laughing at his own naivety, or maybe seeing fate at work. Their story had ended long ago. He tossed the pliers and walked downhill, leaving behind the place he loved and hated. Meanwhile Shenlin still worried for him, and visited his workplace for updates, only to learn the situation was serious. If he skipped work for 15 days he'd be fired. Even the strict supervisor pleaded for leniency. Eventually management agreed to wait, and see if he returned soon. Then the police shared good news. His bank activity showed he bought a ticket, bound for Nanning just moments ago, and was already on the train. This proved he was safe. Shenlin finally relaxed, but since he kept moving around, it wasn't the right time to search for him. The police told them to wait, and they'd notify them later. As for Shenlei, he had given up caring, since he was already away. He decided to take a break